Hello everyone, Daylover here.
And second opinion.
And we're going to react to the new episode, Secret and Pies. Oh, sounds interesting.
I have a pretty good guess as to who it's going to star, but
Yeah, I think it's going to be a Pinkie Pie episode as well, but who knows?
but wrong before.
But we're ready to go, I think.
All right.
Yay.
Just want to check ahead of time, but I'll look forward in the credits. You ready?
Yes.
And here we go.
All we need is a dot of salt, a dab of sugar, and a science. And this will be my masterpiece. It's to celebrate Rainbow Dash's 73rd wonderful tree blue. The crust is rainbow, for obvious reasons. But
Oh, nice. I want rainbow crust in my next cake.
it's worth all the trouble to see her happy.
How many of her friends' foods are Rainbow's favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, Pinkie Pie's fueled by chocolate. Okay, that was cute. Good?
Yeah, I think so. Try.
Okay. And is it playing for you again?
Yeah, it's playing now. Thank you. Said, like, looked away, and what did she do?
She ate the whole pie, the piece of pie that is.
Oh, nice.
Which she was supposed to be allowed to do anyway. I don't know. I guess that's just a joke at how fast she eats pie.
Oh, nice. That's...
I knew she'd love it.
What?
Okay.
It's in the trash.
And she loves my pies. She would never throw them away like trash in the trash with other trash, right?
Oh, poor trash pony.
That would be bananas.
Pinkie being Pinkie again.
Yeah. This is a little bit like odd.
Dash is too stubborn to be brainwashed.
Yeah.
There's something else going. Another pie? Thank you so much. Whoa, what's that?
Oh no!
Oh,
Hey, what's that over there?
Oh no, no, Rainbow Dash.
Mind.
No, this is not okay.
Pies.
No,
No,
if she
okay.
finds out, she's going to kill you. She's going to bake you into a pie herself if she finds this out.
It was nothing.
But creative methods to get rid of the pie, I must admit.
Oh,
I've never really seen Rainbow Dash eat one of my pies.
well,
Do I always look when somebody pulls out my voice? But the picture isn't.
hey, alliteration.
Note this out. Alliteration pie. Is that everything? Digest pony food. Indeed. But where do these pies
I'm just not sure where this is going. They're going to be a twist.
Who knows?
Well, wherever
It is a Pinkie Pie episode after all, so strap in.
I don't know where that was going, but
Oh! Yeah, I almost forgot about the cellar.
Party planning cave. Right. Things since sliced apples.
Thank you.
And I could swear I've seen her.
So Applejack likes the pies, that's nice.
I thought I had. That's why I said it.
Are you
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe I
No.
bring forth the most tasting food in all of Austria.
It's going overboard this episode. No.
oh,
Oh,
it reminds me so much of.
I love this.
good riddance,
What?
and peaches aplenty.
What in the world is going on? Oh my god. This is so epic. No, I can't take it.
I really don't think that's what's happening.
Yes, I will make pies. Lots of pies.
Pinkie, you're starting to become creepy.
We'll force her to admit the truth, or I'll catch her in the act of getting rid of them. Operation Pie of Lies is a go. Thanks, Applejack. I knew I could count on you to come up with a plan.
I don't think that's what I did. All certain parts.
opening the gifts and enjoying them immediately.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm sorry I forgot about Wake Your Friends Up Day. Let me make it up to you. Here.
Oh no! No!
Wow.
Oh, poor Tank.
That's all that happened. They're not upbeat. They're not playing it like a mystery.
Congratulations on your 74th.
No. It's pretty obvious that she's not eating the pies, but it's not obvious for Pinkie Pie.
This is getting a little out of hand.
Yep, just a little.
Didn't sustain any internal injuries.
Oh, boy.
She's going to go insane. I just know it.
You just get better. Rainbow Dash, thank goodness you're here.
What?
I was trying to fix the top pie of my pie pyramid, but the whole thing became unstable. And there's only one way to save me. To eat the pie.
Picks her up.
Don't worry, I gotcha. All right, or you could say that way.
Yeah.
Gotta be more careful, okay?
Oh.
Aw.
Now eat up.
Oh.
Thanks. I can't wait to eat all these pies.
Oh. Oh no,
That's
no.
how kids work.
Yeah, of course. They just want the pies.
She's good.
Delicious.
Yes, she's good, yeah.
Do it again, Pinky.
Oh. Pinkie's going to snap.
Rainbow Dash.
Oh.
There you are. Pie for every pony.
No.
Yours yet. So here, your pie. What do you eat?
Oh no. Pinkie Pie, please no.
You seem to be staring more than usual. I just really like to watch others enjoy my pies.
You can't.
Do I want to take a big bite or a small bite? I just don't know.
Oh, Rainbow, you're pushing it.
No,
Don't push her.
medium.
Please, no. No, no.
Just try some.
She's gonna blink. Rainbow's waiting for her moment.
Yeah. What is happening? Oh, she's blinking. Oh! That was nice.
Pies are just too good to resist.
Episode is insane.
Make them all disappear into thin air?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Okay. So maybe I made one
Oh,
of them
you're so
disappear into
busted.
thin air.
Oh, no.
Oh man.
Bad for Pinkie right now.
Mm.
She won't listen to me. She won't let me apologize.
No.
That's
I
Rainbow
feel
too.
terrible. Well, you have been lying to her. To all of us, actually.
Yeah. Is there anything else you're lying about that we
Mm.
should know?
No!
Not push this too far.
Well, not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, that expression of Jack.
I know how I can make it up to her.
How? Eating one of her pies, or what? Huh?
You! Come! That you? Huh, what is that? Oh, it's you. Pinkie Pie, wait!
She made the worst pie ever.
Pies was a giant hassle. I mean, do you have any idea how many pies you've made for me over the years?
Applejack's face palming.
Yeah.
I know exactly how many. I have a very detailed piling system.
I bet you have.
The point is, I thought the hassle was worth it just to spare your feelings.
Oh, you're right.
So, to make up for it, I made
You
this
call.
pie.
Oh no, no,
Gotcha. Wait, that's
no! Please don't eat that.
is a pie? Yeah.
Oh,
I know I can't go back and eat all the pies you made for me in the past, so instead, I'm gonna eat this giant one for you now.
no.
So, here I go.
Oh, what the heck? Why did she make a pie out of garbage?
No! Oh, that's so disgusting.
Wait, I can't watch you do this.
No.
What?
I mean, is that crust or some kind of
What?
Oh, I can't believe you're willing. How much you're willing to do for your friends.
Ah, shucks. It was nothing.
Now get out of that thing and give me a
Maybe
hug.
wash first.
Just
No, maybe.
remember, you can always be honest.
I could have told her that.
Yeah. There we go.
I mean,
Wow. I don't know. Like this was
Okay.
insane.
the resolution was
Oh.
just plain silly, but
Yeah. It being her, sparing her feelings. Yeah. But I still
mean, that-
think like she should not have lied with it and done stuff with the pies.
it kind of goes without saying. I mean, like, honestly, scenarios like this, I'm almost on the fence. Like, if it's, like, it almost depends on just how big a thing it is. Like, if it's somebody, yeah, making you something, like going through trouble to make you something every single time or whatnot. I mean, I could, see, like, saying, like, suggesting an alternative or
Yeah.
something. I mean,
I don't
honestly,
know why doesn't she just came out and say, well, I don't like pies, but if you bake me this instead, or we exchange
or heck, I
this
prefer
instead.
your cakes or something like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, in the real world, I can't think of many scenarios where just telling someone, no, I don't like your whatever you make is the ideal solution.
No, but
But,
still to not hurt their feelings, I would say. I know
mean,
it's not the ideal solution, but it's still like getting like rid of it. I think that is even worse to do.
I mean,
In my
yeah,
mind,
like
it's like
if it comes,
not
sorry,
okay.
yeah, I mean, if it gets to the point where you have to do what Rainbow Dash was doing, you
Yeah,
probably should
no, it's
rethink
not.
this. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
you
be
should
a little
talk
more
with your
honest.
friend.
But I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if it's like someone who just like, I don't know, bakes something that they've been convinced is delicious and they bring it to every family gathering and like all it takes to make them happy, like take a bite, take a piece, whatever. Like, yeah,
then taste it
I
and
mean,
try it, not throw
unless
it
it's like
all away. Come on.
exactly like then I'm like, okay, just eat a
Yeah.
piece and like, but I mean, um, but I mean, no, like that's not to say this reflects badly on this episode. Like, I mean, there's in an exaggerated, over the top, gleefully silly way, it made its point on how both parties in a situation like this might feel about
Yeah.
being in a situation like this, and
That's true.
I kind of dug it. I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, all the it's almost like Pinky's greatest hits remixed and refined. Like there's a little party of one there, but
Yeah,
at the same time, but yeah, at the same time, it's not like when they just make Twilight anxious about everything because hey, she did that in lesson 0 and she's doing it again here, so it's just as good. Right? Like I mean, it's the same kind of idea, like as in Party of One, where yeah, she gets insecure, she cares almost too much, but you know, sort of doing it their own way this time, doing it a different sort of a way. Like instead of falling into depression, it's more like yeah, falling into obsession, just like ooh, I can figure this out if I just push it a little bit farther.
I was just like freaking out. I was like, she's either going to kill you or she's going to find out and hell is going to break loose.
Oh yeah, she's gonna go cupcakes on her. But,
Yeah. It was close with the eyes and the teeth. At one point,
yeah,
she was like looking at this way, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, Party of One, and I said there's a little bit of mystery on the Friendship Express in there with it, but I mean, but actually, that's almost, it's not, yeah, even fair to say it that way. It's not those episodes, it's Pinky style of humor as seen in those episodes, but like this is, you know exactly how you do that. You think of new jokes, you think of new ways to do it. So like, yeah, taking what it is at the core of this character that has worked so well and doing continuing to find stuff to do with it. I mean, this was, I think a lot of it, like the Blink montage might have been a minor
that was
stroke
great.
of genius. Just
I was like, what is
can I
going
take a
on?
small
Is time
bite or
stopping or what is happening?
the bird slowly flapping its wings, Pinky can't help blinking, and in that time, Rainbow is able to tie balloons to a pie and spin away.
Yeah.
It's so creative, so much fun, and this is one of my favorite episodes of the season now.
Yeah, I also think, besides the ending, I thought like that was disgusting, but else I thought it was very nice, yeah.
I mean, it was kind of supposed to be, but
No,
I'm like,
why couldn't she just have ate a regular pie? Let her make one of the pies and
yeah, I
be
mean,
like, okay, I can eat one instead of bathing in this disgusting trash
is
pie.
that pie crust or concrete? Honestly, I'm not
no.
sure. Like,
And
how
the
can Rainbow Dash be
bubble,
that bad at
why
baking?
did it have to bubble? I just no. I kept saying no.
I mean,
So
I mean, you think it would have meant more to just eat one of Pinky's pies, no pun intended. But yeah, I mean, oh wait, boy, I just realized the fandom is gonna have a field day with Rainbow Dash eating
in this
Pinky's.
disgusting pie. Oh,
Moving on.
no.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah, I mean, the
want
disgusting pie. I mean, like,
pictures.
deliberately gross stuff, just like sort of lingering on it. I mean, I usually just find it like kind of unpleasant, and I
Yeah,
mean,
you're more with the.
kind of that.
Yeah, you like that. I don't.
I mean, no, I mean, I think it's like generally having something gross and like not even making like a joke with a punchline with it, just sort of leaving it there. Like usually, you know, it's hard to push to the side how like, yeah, unpleasant something gross is. But I mean, um, still though, I mean, I did like, okay, the joke they're going for here, kind of like an apology gift played up in a deliberately silly and self-aware and over-the-top kind of way. I mean, like, it didn't pop the balloon. It was just maybe the part of the flight where you're afraid you're gonna crash into something.
Yeah, but thinking about a grade, I'm thinking like B plus maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I was like thinking that at first. I'm like, okay, I mean, yeah, it's fun and it's not failing to be fun at any point, but like, yeah, how many things can you say like are really great about this? And then it started to get like sort of just legitimately
over the
off
top.
the wall creative and funny. I mean, this episode is trying so hard to have fun. Well, I mean, trying so hard that makes it sound like it's banging its head against the wall. It's not breaking through. But I mean, like, no, this episode is doing everything to just have a blast with itself. And I mean, I appreciate that so much. And I mean, honestly, I don't know what more it could have given us there. I'm like, I mean, geez, at very least, I mean, it's not as good as like Mystery on the Friendship Express because, yeah, like.
I actually think this is better, but yeah, you just go.
I mean, or at least I get like I'm trying because like Mystery on the Friendship is Express. That's just like so much Pinky's world. Just like every little line, every little moment is just having a ball with the way Pinky thinks. There's such a great comedic timing to it. Although, I mean, here there's a lot of effort too, and I mean there's like, I mean, well, okay, now I'm like thinking back across, like I don't want like just thinking about the very best parts. I don't want to make this episode more than it is. And there were some points like Pinkie Pie looking through the mystery. I was just like, I mean, it was clearly, I mean, it was not making what it was doing too obvious. It was also not trying to pretend that unsubtle things were subtle. So all well and good. But I mean, there were points where you're just like, okay, so where is this going? And I mean, yep. So okay, I guess like as far as just the comedic creativity the whole time, I'd have to give the edge to Mystery on the Friendship Express. But heck, that's one of my all-time favorites, probably a top 10. And
I think like
this,
this would take my Friendship Express episode out of it.
shit,
I really think
so
like this was really Pinkie Pie, and yeah, I just feel so bad for her because like yeah, hiding the pies and stuff like that. No, not okay. No,
I
no.
mean,
I would have
you
been
feel
so
bad for her,
angry
but
if
you
it was
also feel
me.
bad for Rainbow Dash. I actually wondered if they were going to take it a step farther. Like, not only does she not like them, but like she's allergic to pies or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, that would be something completely different. Then I
Yeah,
would not
'cause
be that angry, but
yeah, well, then it would
like,
be like she could have really just told Pinky because that's
yeah,
a perfectly reasonable explanation. But I mean,
yeah,
um, so I guess like, yeah, that they have her just not like them. That makes it a fairly balanced scenario. Like Rainbow's not entirely wrong, Pinky's uh, not entirely wrong to feel hurt. But I mean, like
I
they're two
still think
friends
there's a reason to
trying to
be
do
hurt.
something nice for each other, and I appreciate that the end acknowledged that. I really appreciate they didn't go the route. You lied to me. You should never lie to a friend. Like, okay, I mean, there are episodes that I felt like were dumb enough to do something just stilted and unsubtle and um, preachy like that, and this, okay,
This
this
this was
episode
a good,
knows
yeah.
exactly what it's doing. I mean, even in its silliness, it's kind of smart in its own way. So, I mean, geez, heck, I was thinking like, well, maybe just an A minus because it is just a story about Pinkie Pie trying to give Rainbow pies after all. But I mean, yeah, talking with you here, I might even like say just like, uh, yeah, straight up A. I mean, like
Oh, you're giving it more than me. I feel bad now.
I mean, like well, I mean, I guess it kind of makes me think of something like Hearts and Hooves Day, where except well,
Yeah,
this is at least as, in fact, probably more over the top than Hearts and Hooves Day.
yeah,
Yeah, like a Hearts and Hooves Day, just like nothing that. I mean, it is what it is. It's not trying to be like ooh the story to end all stories, but I mean, it just like
yeah,
gets so into what it is and just has so much fun with what it is, and
yeah.
okay, and like I mean, here I mean, I wasn't like at any point pausing, like, okay, more than anything, I just kind of want to get like, I want this episode to let me know where it's going and all of this. There weren't any points like that in Hearts and Hooves Day, but I mean, this just, I mean,
I would
it's
rather see Hearts and Hoof Day, but I think it's also because I really don't like the disgusting part. Like the
shit.
first of the episode, that is what is, you know, why I'm giving it a B minus, or how to say that. I'm sorry, but like, I
Wait, now
can't
it's
like,
B minus.
I don't know. Was it B before?
You said B plus before.
Oh, B plus. Yeah, sorry.
I mean, well, wait, you'd rather see this than Hearts and Hooves Day, but this you barely even want to see this because of the disgusting part.
Yeah, I would rather see Hearts and Hooves Day episode because there's no disgusting parts. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, like to be
It's like,
fair, they don't
I
explicitly
can't.
say that anything in the pie is like
No, but just the
disgusting beyond just
imagination.
tasting
No,
bad.
I
Yeah,
can't.
I mean, it looks
No,
like
I
a pie
can't.
made out of the same garbage Pinky was digging through at the beginning.
Oh,
I'm
so disgusting.
like, but I mean, I can't like if it were. I mean, heck, I think I would take more points off if it were just an unfunny, gross out joke. I mean, it's got the gross out part. It's not explicitly a joke, but I mean, you do see what you're doing with that. It's like more
Yeah.
over the top silliness. And Pinkie Pie even says, "See, I'm, um, I shouldn't ask you to do this, especially since this whole thing is way too complicated." And
Yeah.
it's like the
I
self-parody.
really enjoy more that Rainbow Dash with the laser eyes, this evil persona of Rainbow. That was worth
I'm so
everything. It was like,
fantasy, and a poorly drawn fantasy at that. That's like, I mean, this episode it carries itself so well. It's having so much fun with itself, and I mean,
And there was also
You know,
these ponies with the pies. Bring forth. I was
yeah,
like, bring out your
that
dead.
was
Bring out your
disgusting
dead.
to me. Oh, I mean, okay, yeah, you know what? I'm like, okay, thinking about my A- episodes this season, I think I definitely liked this a little more. I don't know, like, I mean, it's been so long since I've had an episode like this. I'm like, okay, is this really just as great as the other episodes that I've seen like that? And I guess, okay, I'm gonna say like, okay, I laughed harder at stuff like, Stranger Than Fan Fiction. What maybe felt it a little bit more in, um, some like what are, Simple Ways, for example. So like those are some. So, but even so, I'm gonna like this. Uh, Gets to go down like this is one of those ones that okay should have been probably just another episode and instead shot itself up to a minor MLP classic. I think that yeah, this is definitely, one of those modest A's.
Yeah,
Like so,
it can definitely also come in my top 10 for Pinkie Pie episodes. Just if I could switch the ending with something else, it would be
yeah,
a plus for me as well.
I
uh,
just say that yeah. She, so I decided to try this pie, Pinky. Hey, wait a minute, that's the pie I made with Applejack when she was, tired and too, yeah, out on her feet to make anything right.
yeah,
She made cookies there. So, well, she made. They didn't say explicitly what she made there. That pie is 2 years old, or however long ago that was.
yeah.
But
Mm.
I didn't. But yeah, I mean, still, that was just like one minor detail, and I do appreciate that the show is not afraid to be gross. Like,
Yeah, but I still feel like it was pushing a little bit. But
you wanted Rainbow Dash to get put in her place a little bit. She had to
yeah,
suffer just a
that's
little.
true. That's true. Yeah, that I must admit. Yeah, I was really feeling for Pinkie Pie more in this situation. But maybe it's also because I actually have experience with this, not with pies, but with something else. But never mind.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those episodes that like can, make its point, can show you like a relatable situation in an over the top way that you're still meant to
Yeah.
enjoy, like still meant
But
to not take too seriously.
yeah, I
So
must also admit I really like the start of this with Pinkie Pie investigating and everything is just so obvious. So even
oh, there's a pie place
yeah,
in tank.
in tank, and I was just like, even children will be like, hey, she's not eating the pies.
Yeah, like that's like I like that this episode doesn't pretend that unsubtle things are subtle. Instead, it like, there's a giant pie shape, uh,
in
in
tank.
tank.
Or every half a year the other ponies get her half a year birthday cake. No.
Yeah, this episode mixes its ingredients very well. It's a tasty treat.
Oh. That's
But,
for sure.
so yeah, so this, like, I mean, I was, trailing off on season 7 a bit. I was like hoping it was gonna. I mean, it was like in kind of a race with that season 5. Which one is gonna be my smack in the middle of the road season? The one that has high highs and low lows, or the one that's just like, yeah, unbelievably middle of the road? And I mean, yeah, I think season 7 was not only losing but threatening to fall back with seasons 3 and 6. This is the kind of shot to the arm it needed. Like season 7 is alive once again.
I will not agree fully with you because I really feel like we only had like 2 episodes that was a little off, and then we came back again. I think that we had a lot of great episodes.
Well, I mean, you're middle of the road anyway, like starting to really like trail off into meh. That was, yeah, I mean,
maybe for you, but for me, I'm still on high.
Yeah, because I mean, like a lot of these seasons, besides 6, like I mean, all the other seasons, I think when they hit, they hit. I mean, heck, even 6 at least got like 2 that were, yeah, borderline there, but I mean, like,
We are
you know,
never
even
going to
seasons
agree
that
with
had
the
like,
seasons.
oh, that's right, you're one of the people who loves season 6.
No,
Like, what are we never going to agree on?
because mine is season 3.
So,
Remember?
oh, season 3 is your worst season.
Not best.
Oh, best. Oh, heck, well, I mean, season 3 does have a couple of my all-time favorite episodes. Like, I mean, I will give it credit. Like, when it hit. But I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it missed
But
too many times for me.
I definitely feel with this, it was not like meh for me because I had a lot of other episodes I really enjoyed. There are only like 2 episodes where I was like, okay, now it's going back again, as you said, trailing off to. But I'm happy to see like episodes like this. Then it makes me hope for a good finale, or how to say that.
Okay, Josh
At least.
Hamilton, what else did he write? Because, I mean, I
don't
think
know.
he's
I never
new
look
as of
at the.
this
I
season.
never look at the writers.
I
Oh.
do, so.
I'm sorry, writers. All hell the writers. But I just look at the episode, and if I like it, I will also like.
Oh my god, he's the Avatar: The Last Airbender guy, the guy who yeah, I was really hopeful for in Parental Guidance, and who I thought killed it in the first act, but then like trailed off. Like, okay, this is the episode I was so hoping he had in him. He like,
okay.
wow, dude, you finally did it. Like, third
Epic,
time's a charm. You killed it.
Epic fan geek out here, and I'm just lost.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I mean, no, like,
so
this is the
sorry.
kind of writing that, okay, on some level, you have to give credit to the writing. Like,
that's
somebody
true.
is thinking really hard about how to be creative there.
Yes, I will agree with that. Yeah, but I don't know anything about him.
Parental Guidance and Triple Threat,
Both
both of which had their moments, but I mean, thought that, like, they trailed off there. Okay, this one, I think, just, plain and simple nails it.
Yeah, I also liked Triple Threat, but yeah, this is definitely better, I think. Yeah.
So, I mean, okay, so I think that, this goes all the way up easily to my second favorite episode of the season.
Oh, it's not going that high for me. It's on my number 10 somewhere, but I don't know where yet.
So, okay, season 7, I mean, granted, it's gonna need, like, what are some of the most epic comebacks in history? I'd say a Secretariat sprint, but that wasn't a comeback, that was just, holy heck, Secretariat won by that much. But, I don't know, Miracle in Michigan, it's gonna need a Miracle in Michigan pass, look it up, /Stewart, but, to come back and beat season 5, but I mean, if it does this, how many more episodes, 2 more times, then maybe.
We're fine, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, we don't have that many episodes left, like 3 or something with the 2-parter, right? Or maybe more. I don't know.
I mean, so the only episode this season that, like, talking to you, I've been convinced that this episode is A material, and so that means the only episode that rivals it this season on my card is Perfect Pair, and honestly, I mean, I guess in a lot of ways I was more into this than Perfect Pair. Like, I mean, Perfect Pair, I mean, you get the idea, you're going through it. This, I was like, I mean, even the parts that were, like, it was, like, I wasn't fully connecting with it, I was, like, kind of actively invested, but I mean, Perfect Pair, just, like, hit so many, like, meaningful moments. I mean, maybe not even the best we've ever seen, but sure as heck good enough. They carry a lot of weight that an episode like this just can't have. But
but I must admit that is my new number 2 episode. Perfect
I mean,
Pair.
Perfect Pair still probably deserves to be.
But we were not supposed to talk about other episodes. We're not talking about this one.
Okay.
So
I mean, I don't.
Notes.
I should. Okay, make up for all the little things I didn't say, even though it's what happened. I mean, oh, just even the littlest details. That Pinkie Pie running out of her house as fast as she could, which somehow had her to get out of the Cake's Bakery, is
Yeah.
and then out the front door. Just stuff like that. It's on like how it doesn't leave it clear like explicitly whether Rainbow Dash is getting rid of. I mean, well, for one, it almost benefits, and maybe this wasn't intentional, from not knowing what the reveal is going to be, like from not knowing if you're supposed to know the reveal is obvious or not. Like, is the mystery whether Rainbow Dash likes the pies or whether she's getting rid of them? And I mean, it makes it clear that, okay, like, she probably is getting rid of them. It's obvious, but I mean, like, Pinkie, but okay, it plays that about right somehow. Like, it almost, like, the point is more just Pinkie's obsession with whether it's happening, and, yeah, the whole, and I mean, and it did, like, the flashback, I guess, to its credit, it shows us what actually happened, and
Yeah.
although, again, like, it almost benefits from, we don't know if that's what actually happened or Pinkie's imagination, but yeah, seeing
Yeah, we don't
like,
know that for sure, though.
Pulls it off. She has a built-in tunnel to her room by now to get away with this, and just like, and like the part where Pinkie Pie's trying to get her to figure this out like that. I mean, yeah, we see stuff like that before, but this is how you do stuff like that.
Yeah,
just
that's
like
true.
small
Yeah.
strokes of genius, and like,
Yeah.
so, I mean, just like even in its littlest moments, this episode is really going for it, and I mean, just like the energy, some of the timing, even stuff that probably should come across as more cheesy than anything else, works. Like Pinkie interrogating the Wonderbolts and making use of what we've seen before with like the detective hat and
yes. I also love that. Yeah.
Knowing how to get back out. I mean, I don't know how they got out last time. I mean, she must, unless it was something that only worked with all 6 of them. But
no.
I mean, so okay, like. I mean, I keep talking like that, and I'm like, okay, am I even not giving it as much credit as it deserves? Just because, like, it's so hard to have a point of comparison for an episode like this when it's been so long since we had other episodes like this. But I mean, okay, I'm gonna stick with that.
Yeah.
Minor MLG classic, a soft day.
Yes. So we are done.
Okay. Yes, I'm done ranting.
Done with the rant. Well, we did not bore you guys too much. But
hey!
We are off. Bye.